warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Ayu Martin from English Literature Department, Universitas Bangka Belitung. Here, I want to explain a journal of pragmatic research. The title is Impoliteness of Directive Speech Act in Online Indonesian Language Learning. Journal Volume 3, Number 2, Sintavo, and published on 2021. Written by Laili Etika Rahmawati, Nurul Hidayat, and Andra Kurniawan. So, let's begin and please enjoy. First, the purpose of this study was to describe the impoliteness of Directive Speech Act in online Indonesian language learning. The technique to collect the data used the observation, note, and record. The data collection of the impoliteness of Directive Speech Act was found at some WhatsApp group on senior high school conducted by the Indonesian language teacher. And the technique to analyze the data used a data triangulation model. Next, the background in this study was carried out because, as we know, some time ago, the world was hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, including Indonesia. Therefore, all activities transferred to the online system, including teaching and learning activities at schools. There are many learning platforms used by teachers and students to interact with each other. For example, Google Classroom, WhatsApp group, etc. In essence, a teacher must always use correct directive speech as well, including Indonesian teachers. But in fact, not all Indonesian teachers can do it. There are still many impoliteness in Directive Speech Act performed by Indonesian language teachers to their students in learning activities. Therefore, this is the reason for this journal, which examines the impoliteness of Directive Speech Act in online Indonesian language learning. Then, the study results indicate 7 types impoliteness of Directive Speech Act on Indonesian language learning conducted by the teacher. The impoliteness of Directive Speech Act of asking or requesting, prohibiting, offering, welcoming, ordering, begging, and requiring. Next, type number 1, the impoliteness of Directive Speech Act of asking or requesting that aims to get something from the speech partner. There are 2 data examples. Both of the data are examples of impoliteness Directive Speech Act of asking or requesting, because in the data number 1, the teacher demanding all students pay attention to the implementation time of Indonesian language lessons start from 7 to 2 p.m. How to convey a message is classified as impoliteness because it does not call students friends or children, which can be polite messages delivered to students. And data number 2 is also same, neither use the word friends or children to convey messages to students. Next, type number 2, the impoliteness of Directive Speech Act of prohibiting. That is an action from the speaker to listener not to do something that the speaker or teacher does not desire. This data includes the impoliteness of Directive Speech Act because the teacher as a speaker prohibits students from taking attendance. The words tidak perlu and kamu kurang memperhatikan as if snapped at the student who forgot to the attendance. Next, type number 3, the impoliteness of Directive Speech Act of offering that aims to offer speech partner to choose according to their wishes. The examples taken from the WhatsApp group of Indonesian teachers and students. The statement includes data on impoliteness of the Directive Asking for Speech Act because it does not contain elements of politeness that can refine speech, such as mentioning names or providing greeting words such as children. Instead, the teacher offers students to write down paragraph numbers and sentence numbers. Next, type number 4, The impoliteness of Directive Speech Act of Welcoming that aims to ask the speech partner to obey something the speaker wants. The data example taken from one of the schools that implements Indonesian language learning online is follow. Yang bukan anggota mohon untuk keluar. The statement is an example of impoliteness in Directive Speech Act in the form of allowing or giving orders. The teacher asks students who are not group members to leave the WhatsApp group, but the teacher does not use smooth sentence. Next, type number 5, the impoliteness of Directive Speech Act of ordering. In containing commands or giving orders in learning Indonesian online, namely by teachers as speakers in providing orders to students. There are 3 data examples. All of this data is included in the impoliteness of Directive Speech Act in learning Indonesian online because the sentence conveyed by the teacher are considered less subtle, and the teacher does not use children greetings word or call out students' names to give the greeting sentence delivered to students. Next, type number 6. The impoliteness of Directive Speech Act of Speaking aims to ask for something but in a more respectful manner. Example, mohon gabung kelas di Google Classroom dengan kode NAXM7WN. This data includes the impoliteness of Directive Speech Act because the teacher begs students to join the Google Classroom but does not use polite sentence. The data consists of the Speech Act of the requesting directives marked with the word beg or please. And last, type number 7, Directive Speech Act of impoliteness of requiring aims to ask earnestly or loudly for the speech partner to do what the speaker wants. Example, pastikan kuota cukup. The data includes Directive Speech Act of require, but the data is not polite. Teachers need students to have sufficient quotas when participating in learning Indonesian language online. So, the last is conclusion that based on the result of research at senior high school A, B, and C, this research found that data of impoliteness of Directive Speech Act were asking or requesting, prohibiting, offering, welcoming, command or ordering, begging, and requiring. Alright, I think that's all I can explain the research content in the journal Impoliteness of Directive Speech Act in Online Indonesian Language Learning. I wanna say thank you so much for watching and your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.